Acheng. I work for the Women of Uganda Network. My expectation during the Forum for Internet Freedom in Africa is to learn more about privacy of women online.
Hello, my name is Aouti Kwaku. I'm from Cote d'Ivoire, and I'm here to represent my organization. And I would like to learn more about internet freedom in order to advance the right of people with disabilities in my country.
Je suis Simone Toussi du Cameroun. Je suis contente d'être ici et surtout contente d'avoir qu'il y a l'Afrique francophone vraiment représentée. Alors ce que j'attends, c'est que les gens puissent être capables de trouver des solutions adéquates pour les problèmes que l'Afrique francophone traverse actuellement en termes de liberté sur Internet, de liberté d'expression, mais aussi de liberté d'expression.
Hi, I'm Wachukwu Emonike, the community manager for Global Voices, Sub-Saharan Africa. I'm quite thrilled to be in Addis Ababa for the Internet Freedom Forum of Internet Freedom of Africa, FIFA 19. I'm particularly thrilled precisely because more often than not, we activists and researchers within this sphere work in silos. And I do think that this event really brings out a great opportunity for us to actually to be able to pool our resources together for freedom of expression online and offline.
Recognize that the security interests are the main concerns of citizens. Thus, efforts around building capacity for cybercrime in collaboration with the appropriate government entities are underway to safeguard privacy and rights of individuals, and we are very keen to ratify the Malabo and Buddha's conventions. We are optimistic that we will achieve our goals of becoming a middle-income country by 2025 by creating dignified jobs, wealthy for citizens and entrepreneurs, improving ease of doing business, establishing good governance, and enhance digital freedom and internet governance, a participative democracy, as well as improved access to public welfare services for the citizens.
But also to offer a bit of word and encouragement to say, here is what is happening in other countries. Here is where Ethiopia can also probably do better. Ethiopia, like Ghana, is an African leader in many regards. Ethiopia holds the headquarters of the African Union and very many other institutions. Ethiopia is a thought leader on the African continent on many other issues. That means that Ethiopia is undertaking reforms that are progressive, that are promoting rights in any arena. Many other African countries are likely to also follow suit. So we really appreciate what Ethiopia is doing. We want to encourage Ethiopia to continue doing that, engage more with citizens, and make laws which actually set the pace in terms of being progressive and enabling citizens to enjoy their rights. And Ethiopia has the opportunity to do that. The minister has mentioned a couple of laws that are being revised. In our other capacities, we have been consulted and we are providing inputs on some of those laws that are being revised.
Focusing engagement, less legislation to open for innovation, no to internet shutdowns. We have some wishful thinking, but considering where we're heading, we hopefully will see less, in the coming years. So I think our panelists have set grounds for us to engage for the rest of today and tomorrow. And with that, I would like to quickly take you through the agenda for the rest of today.
That is artificial intelligence. Being able, for example, to identify crowds when people are gathering up. This I used a lot When you talk about social media surveillance capabilities, also there is that adage of it. I believe the whole point is in appreciating that enforcement of the law is no longer tradition. It has to be trained. It has to be taken to the high tech. It's not about plugging the cable. It's about identifying who could have done what and using the legal methods to prosecute such people. I want to miss out the fact that probably there are also excesses. There are excesses that can be used, and that you can't rule it out because it's like in fraud examination. They talk about the opportunity.
Women in universities, young couples, women who just gotten married, they were being murdered by their husbands for very, very minute reasons, like, you didn't cook ugali, well, that's like traditional Kenyan food. They were being, there was a case of a woman whose hand was chopped off because apparently she didn't get food for supper for the man. So there was a period in Kenya when a lot of women were being murdered, there was a lot of violence, and we felt like, as young feminists in Kenya, we felt like it was not being given the visibility that it needed. It was not being amplified enough. So we decided to organize as young feminists, and we did the Total Shutdown KE. This was a protest, this was a march in four counties in Kenya: Nairobi, Mombasa, Busia, and Kisumu. And we presented a memorandum of demands to the government of Kenya, asking them, demanding that they declare violence against women and girls and femicide a national emergency.
It's essential to acquire more access to equipment of check cases. This doesn't work everywhere, some countries actually direct. But it works in the development. But yeah, I told you that when you do a DNA spraying, you get an IP address, you want to validate that's a valid. You want to validate the IP address. One thing you can do is go to IPinfo.io/IP address and use the information about the IP address. It looks like this.
And then we just dive right in, we send them resources. So there's a little bit of pre-workshop planning that happens. So they get to work, immediately they are selected, they get to work, and then we invite them for the first workshop. The first workshop is meeting facilitators like Natasha and Lily and another group from different defenders, which I'll say more about later. So they come for the workshop, they get skills, and they feel empowered to be able to create awareness in their own communities. And as it's been happening, we have a
les cadres au niveau des pays pour essayer d'éviter que, par exemple, Ras-Batwa en permet au Burkina Faso, que demain ça soit au Bénin. Donc je pense que les bonnes pratiques sont une alternative qui peut permettre de contrer ce genre de situation. Et en fait, la question de l'éducation, encore une fois, est importante. Donc éduquer, former les gens, que ce soit nos populations, que ce soit également la société civile.
So some of the work that I do in my role is to help at-risk populations, help to promote these categories to understand our security settings, our privacy settings, but also be more able to promote content that advocates their position. So women's rights groups, digital rights groups, etc. And then just like the panel, we do a lot of consultation with external stakeholders and experts to understand the nuance in the different markets in which we operate. So here on this continent, Francophone Africa is different than Anglophone Africa, East Africa is different than Southern Africa, and understanding that nuance through these kinds of consultations helps us make sure that our policies work well for everyone. So that's in brief what Facebook does, but I think that in order to really understand how it works, it requires a more in-depth engagement with the platform, and I'm happy to answer questions on that later.
We have this pain. And because we are interested in the findings of the research, we don't pay attention to the things that we are creating, and we don't even know how to close that wound. And at the same time, from a researcher's perspective, as a woman researcher especially, we are a product of the society, and we have experienced violence in one way or another, which means you are also partially reminded of this and that. And so how do you deal with those kind of things? And also, in many ways, especially with this kind of work, one of the things that we don't get accustomed to is showing messiness. And I think in research, the messiness is also part of the knowledge. And so to show the ways in which you struggle with power, to show the ways in which you kind of get the trust of the participants. And those kind of small but very important kind of experiences need to come forward. We have just published on our genderit.org our first edition with our partners about their experience around their field.
The key is to consider each shutdown, as Bernard said, on its own terms. So, what was disrupted? And as we know, it's often very different. Sometimes it's the entire internet, sometimes it's just specific platforms. And then on the other side, what was the justification? What was the purpose? And human rights law gives us the framework for that, which is under the concept of principle of proportionality, a government action that impacts and limits freedom of expression has to be the least restrictive means to achieve the legitimate purpose that the government is seeking. So if, for example, in the Ethiopian context, the government's stated purpose is to prevent the loss of life and conflict in certain communities, which is a legitimate aim under the SCCR and Article 19, then we have to think about what options does the government have to address that threat. And along that spectrum of options, is network disruption, the way it was actually carried out, the least restrictive of the options that could effectively achieve that? I think what we found is it's almost never the case that the network disruption can meet that test because the impacts are just so broad, right? So it may, I don't want to say it never can hinder protest or could help prevent violence, or it may, in some instances, seem like it is effective for addressing another sort of legitimate purpose. But it also will have a ton of other unintended consequences. Consequences the government itself doesn't want, but are necessarily part of the feature, the nature of these disruptions, as everybody has referred to.
I think states would obviously collaborate in one way or the other. Some simply just take a law from another state and adapt it. Unfortunately, it's the bad laws that often get adapted that way. But I think we also have an opportunity. Right now, the Freedom Online Coalition is chaired by Ghana. And the person representing Ghana appears to have a very progressive attitude about this case. And he's looking for Africans to work with and collaborate with. And I think that in that case, he can have a positive influence in working with other countries. But there are also countries that have a very negative attitude, and if we allow them to lead such collaborative processes, then they are going to take us really back. So I think I would say that it depends on the specifics of those circumstances and the states that are involved. But where you have a dominant state that has a progressive attitude, I would certainly encourage that because they can exert influence.
It's the registration of intellectual property rights across countries. If you look, for example, at the Madrid Protocol, it basically says that all the member states of the protocol, if you register, say, trademark in Zimbabwe, the trademark is also protected in South Africa and other member states of the protocol. So it prevents that situation where you register the same trademark with different state bodies. So I would say that you can register that. And then the other one is balancing between API and freedom of expression. I would say that most constitutions or most constitutional democracies have a limitation clause. And that limitation clause simply states that each right has a point where it gets to a limit. So there should be a balance of rights. I can't enjoy, or I can't claim to enjoy my rights to the point where I start infringing on another person's right. And I think that's very clear in terms of text and back and mind what's written in the Constitution. But maybe what's more important now is for states to actually be bound by those limitation clauses and not limit those rights in a way that is unconstitutional and borders on censorship and silencing people from expressing themselves.
It's easier to engage your parliamentarians and say, Zimbabwe has done this, South Africa has done this, Ghana has done this, we should do this. That's an interesting process. But I found out that if they're not make that part of the official statement to say we are copying this from Zimbabwe, we want to protect their people and all of that. Zimbabwe cannot tell us what to do and all that. So while we were working with each other, for example, when we were doing some of the lobbying work, I got asked questions such as, why else are you doing this? Why else do you have this kind of provision? And I was like, oh, you can check this provision here, you can find it here and all of that. But the day the bill was going to be introduced on the floor of the Senate, and we were asked to help draft a kind of a motion, and we were trying to refer to the African Commission, and they were like, no, you can't tell us that. So it's very important. So it's okay, whatever let's copy from here and there. We don't have to say it officially, but the signing parties know where exactly we took that and all of that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so just on the back of what Peter was saying, he said most of what I wanted to say. But I think really, at the end of the day, in itself, soft law standards always have a problem with legitimacy and compliance. That's already a problem. And there are aspects with this, also there's the process and the substance of it. Even the process, it is actually not a process whereby states can actually look at and say, we feel that the body which actually developed the soft law standard.
When you funding source, or you guys have a funding source, we can work with you on that. So pulling funding aside, talking about what's going on, talking about the needs, I think that's key. In terms of how we find partners, we have regional offices. We will reach out to, you can identify who you should be talking to, like we reach out to our regional offices. Or if we have, the one person in the office who's Sudanese, we're like, okay, we want to work together, who can we be talking to there? Who will put us in touch with people in the country? So talk to others. Like that's often how we do it. Or follow people's Twitter feeds. If we have open calls, we will share them through Twitter. Because that's often the easiest way for us to kind of get the message out to broad communities. I think that's a good way of doing that. And I know there's a couple of community guarantees here, like find them, talk to them. That may be a good way of knowing how they get in touch with us. Because we will work with smaller organizations.
Thank you, that was great context. So I'm going to ask one.
Law enforcement globally. And when there are times when we know that there are certain situations on Facebook that could lead to real world harm, we do contact the authorities and engage with them.
It's need for us to embrace local content. In my place of work, the cooperative society, there is a reduction method we use. That if you borrow money, you pay back, you make use of reduction method. And it's a complex method. Like so many people don't understand the method. So I sat down one day and I make use of Visual Basic in Excel to design a particular solution to that problem, such that just insert some figures into the cells, like 3 cells. You just click.
We need to change our mindset in terms of border. There is no border at all in digital era. Everything we're going to do, just consider that we're going to do for the world, not for our country, not for our continent. And everything that others are going to do, they're going to do the same way. When Facebook guys are designing their software, when they're trying to make it, to improve it, they're not designing for the US. They're not designing for the European, they're designing for everybody. We also need to be in this mindset when we design. So that's why I was talking about the standards. When we develop the standard, myself, I'm also a software developer, and I've been developing software for 20 years. I just stopped it recently because I have a team now. And the key element and the key lessons I actually learned from it is you can do what you want when there is no standard. And when there is nobody to control what you've done. You can be the best developer in the world, but know also that there is someone who is the best controller in the world to control what you've done and to be sure that what you're doing is fulfilling the requirement. That's why I'm telling we need to understand that. In terms of sovereignty, I completely agree with you. We need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our sovereignty.
Interest, international cooperation is really based on interest. We need to identify that, we need to be real. There is no need to pretend. Protect that. But you can't do that without working with external parties. The internet architecture itself implicates collaboration. So you need to look at that technical makeup and try to reach out, to ensure that you are able to also secure the interest as part of this collaboration. I think really that addresses the problem. But last thing I would like to share is, in addressing this problem, there are multiple ways. Really, and I'm throwing this to my civil society partners and also our Facebook colleagues. You're doing well, removing content, using AI and others. Let's also intensify awareness creation as to the value, the credence that people give to certain information that they see. I really want to see civil society group taking active role. My African citizen raised a question about shutting down internet. He asked a question he didn't answer.
Advocacy and pushback from non-state actors. I guess that's why we're here, because we have an interest in improving the environment. And there's been some adoption of progressive laws in the last period of 20 years. And countries like Kenya, Burundi, Tanzania, there are some laws that have been put. Because before, when all these disruptions or these negative developments were happening, most of the time countries were relying on old laws. So with time, they have come along to develop new laws, but the laws again go into touching on undermining some rights.
Yes, like you said, one of the reasons why we may be where we are today is because much of the development of ICT policies and laws that have happened in African countries over the years have been in relation to cybersecurity and electronic transactions mainly, but human rights considerations really very late. We started that conversation really late. So that can perhaps explain some of the things that are happening today in terms of how we have very weak legal and policy environment protecting rights within the digital space, and we have all this really unbridled violations of human rights happening online at an accelerated rate. Some of the things that you have mentioned, for instance, and that we have talked about in the last 2 days, is just the intensity we are seeing towards the desire to have control over citizens' data. Digital ID programs are not just in Kenya, it's rolling out in several countries at the same time. There is a good argument for it in terms of the development of digital economy and all of those kinds of things. But again, the legal and policy framework around those things are really weak. In countries where we have data protection laws, in about half of those countries, there are no data protection regulators or regulatory bodies in those countries. 3 to 4 years, and then the president declined an assent. But we've had, like I just mentioned, the Cybercrime Act, sections 24 and 38 of that act. After that, we've had the social media bill. Thankfully, that has been dropped, but we do have hate speech bill that has been read at least once, and has up to a death sentence penalty if you're found guilty of hate speech. So we have those kinds of things happening. But again, the picture is not all the way. For instance, one of the things that warmed my heart coming towards this conversation was the RICA judgment in South Africa, which is really a need for privacy and media rights, because it's rendered the registration of SIM cards unconstitutional. And I think that if we are more strategic about litigation, there is an opportunity there for strengthening the frameworks that protect human rights online. Another thing I'd like to see is more interdisciplinary collaboration. I think that sometimes it begins to feel like we're in an echo chamber and we're only talking to ourselves. But we need to have more inclusive conversations. If rights are rights, if we're not talking about new rights, if these are human rights in the digital space, then we should have more interdisciplinary
interdisciplinary collaborations on this issue, and we should have more traditional human rights groups, pushing for this advocacy, as you have mentioned. So I'll just stop there for now.
Then, from that level, you now see research coming out of intergovernmental organizations like the ITU, asking questions, how can we connect the next billion? Again, whilst that was happening, no one shut the internet. So, when we reached that stage, there were national initiatives, some from ISOC. You will recall ISOC has come up with a project of community networks, trying to move that internet penetration rate from where it had been stagnant to above 50%. So, moderator, I think in all fairness, the negative effects we talk about today are only recent. And like you rightfully said, maybe they are only from 7 years from now. In 1999, you would find out that most laws that were actually enacted, like in Zimbabwe 2002, we had the AIPA, the Access to Information legislation.
Internet in itself has exposed governments across the world, not only in Africa, for who they really are and for what they've been doing behind the curtains. And now we are getting to know what governments do a lot sooner. And there's a bit of debate as to whether democracy is thriving now, because government was ostensibly put in place by democracies through democratic processes, as to whether democracy is going to thrive now in where we have a higher democratic, when we have a higher freedom of internet. And my answer for Africa for now, I think, is no. I was just looking at some quick statistics worldwide. We have 3.7 billion people accessing the internet. There's been a general decline in freedom of internet. About 71% of those countries have had ICT practitioners arrested. 71% of countries of the 3.7 billion. We have about 55% of the 3.7 billion people globally, whereby social, religious content is still being blocked, including political content. And purely this is being done by governments. 48% people have died. I mean, my sister here talks about in Nigeria, in Kenya, people have died. People have disappeared. We don't want to say died, but disappeared mysteriously. 47% whereby the surveillance powers of the authorities that be have actually been increased. Again, this is government.
Inciting violence is protecting speech. All these questions, some of them have been answered in this very important occasion. I've heard and understood my fellow parliamentarian from Kenya who have the experience and expertise, and hopefully, as Malawi is, we are neighbors. We have got a lot to share, and we've got a lot to experience, especially in the legislative area, where in Malawi we just passed a law on information access and the cyber security bill, which have already been accepted to by the head of state. And hopefully, as we go along, Africa, it's high time now that we should stand and partners with those developed countries, not as otherwise. Thank you very much.
It's my great pleasure to join you this afternoon to close down these 2 days very productive and historical workshop on the Forum on Internet Freedom in Africa 2019, that organized by Collaboration of Internet, International ICT Policy for East and Southern Africa, and Ministry of Innovation and Technology of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. I have recognized that the discussion you were held on internet freedom and rights, governance, policy, regulation, areas where each topic thoroughly deliberated and reflected have indeed enlightened, enriched, and experiences were shared. Space has made the digital space and certain space for citizens and government, and as a result, it has negatively affected social, economic, and political opportunities in this country. We wish the network the best of success and look forward a journey together as we build the Ethiopia we want and we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the skills workshop, which was a part of this forum, I hope can be used as a trainers workshop. And as such, we believe the participants will go back to their countries and will spread the skill for too many fellow Africans who lag behind in digital revolution, which is happening in our continent nowadays. We have taken note of the existence of our brothers and sisters in Sudan have made by applying the digital revolution and tools, tactics used to achieve their goals. This experience should serve as a leading opportunity for African leaders that will live in a new era, the digital era. In addition to that, we should be aware that the big majorities of our citizens are young people who are connected to each other both within the border and beyond. As a result, we should take the dream of our youth very seriously and engage and empower them accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, the topics of technology and disability, refugees and digital rights, elections, security and democracy, among the many other interesting topics, which are very hot, current, and pertinent topics for the African continent, and have given us all the opportunities to share and learn at the same time from each other. Topics: building and enabling environment for inclusive digital transformation in Africa. The digital transformation we want for our Africa should allow the entrepreneurial spirit to blossom by putting in place the necessary legal framework and framework on data mining, data privacy, data security, e-commerce, e-payment, e-government, and the like. This framework facilitates greater competitiveness and inclusivity. By doing so, the framework will play a great role for the success of SDG and 2063 Africa we want, and make a democratic and prosperous Africa in reality. Dear guests and participants, in conclusion, I strongly believe that your 2 days hard work, engagement at all levels have made this workshop historical, meaningful, and reached productive outcome that enhance common understanding, cooperation among governments, human rights defenders, activists, lawyers to renew their commitment to realize and implement policies and laws that enhance internet access, affordability, freedom, rights, and governance. In the same token, the workshop has created conducive environment, capacities, capabilities, platform, and networks that strengthen collaboration to advance digital transformation for collective peace and prosperity of our continent and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all once again for your contribution to make this successful workshop. Particularly, allow me to extend my deepest heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to the collaboration on international ICT policy for Eastern and Southern Africa, CIPESA, for their unreserved support and collaboration, as otherwise we could not have done this.
It's clear to see from up here, the world seems small. We can sit together